everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we're really excited today. We have another one of our Hall Star interviews for you today. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and Anne is here.
Hey, everyone.
Yes. And we have Rushi Kota here today to talk with us. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what we like to do with new guests is we like to give you a chance to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what inspired you to get into acting.
Okay. My name is Rushi Kota, and what inspired me to get into acting? Wow, it's been I think almost 10 or 12 years since I've been an actor, and honestly, it's just I love playing different characters. I think it's a big departure from my own life, and I sometimes find my own life to be mundane, and if I'm able to step into somebody else's shoes and learn a piece of walking in their shoes for a little while, I'm always gung ho about that.
Did you study film or acting, anything in school or growing up?
I did. I got my MFA in acting
Nice.
from Harvard University, and yeah, it was a 2.5 year
Wow.
program. And we spent 3 months in Russia doing our residency at the Stanislavski Theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was a hell of an experience.
Amazing.
Yeah, that would be very intimidating.
Yeah, it was. I never thought I would go to Russia for anything, but it's where Stanislavski started the Moscow Art Theater School, and that's where the system that he developed emerged from. And I have to say, some of the best theater in the world is in Russia. They give a lot of funding and precedence for theater over there, and I've never seen Chekhov or Shakespeare done the way it's been done there. And yeah, it was I learned a tremendous amount.
So did you do musical theater? I'm a huge musical theater junkie.
Oh yeah, no. They tried to get me to sing some songs, and I was like, I'm not gonna. I don't think I can do that right now. I think my Russian singing teacher, she was just like, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He can't sing. And I'm like,
That's
yeah.
Well, do you remember the first role you ever got on camera?
Yeah, I think it was I'm gonna go for the one that got me my SAG card, which was it was General Hospital.
Okay.
And this was, I think, in like
wow.
2013. That's where I got my first SAG card, and I played a neonatal doctor, neonatal surgeon, doctor. I played a neonatal surgeon, and I took my job so seriously and so intense that they never called me back for more episodes.
But then Grey's Anatomy, you got on there, so something must have been good.
Yeah, that was a big departure, but yeah, I remember just I was like, this is I'm operating on a neonatal baby. I have to take this so seriously. And then I forgot that it was a soap opera, and they're like, we just need you to have a personality right now, and you don't. We just stop talking to her so angry.
That's really funny. You're like, calm down.
Yeah, like calm down for a second. It's gonna be okay. I'm like, oh, what? No. So yeah, that was a fun experience.
That is really funny, but it must have been like super exciting to get on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. I remember, when did I start on Grey's Anatomy? 2017. I think I just got off of doing a play called Guards at the Taj at the Marin Theater County in San Francisco. And I was at a weird place in my life. I was like, man, I don't know. It's like I think I just dropped my manager at the moment, and I didn't have any representation, and I was like struggling to find work, and I was like, And then finally I just got with my new manager, and she was, able to get me an audition for GREYS. And then the way that worked out, Linda Lowy, who was the casting director for Grey's Anatomy, she actually came to my showcase way back in 2013, and so it kind of all started working out from there on. But I was only pinned for like 2 episodes when I started, and then it trickled down into this doing a whole season and a half, and then some web series that we were also able to get out in the life of the new interns. So
were you in that group of interns with like JC and the yeah, okay,
and JC and Janine and what's his name? His name's he goes by Glasses. He was going by Glasses on the show. Man, it's his name blanks my mind at the moment. But we're all together.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies. We love JC. She's the best.
Yeah, she's cool. She's cool.
Very good. Yeah, did you struggle at all with all the medical jargon?
Yeah, surprisingly, no. It just kind of, I think I'm able to, once in grad school, we were able to like learn phonetically how things sound. So I was able to just phonetically sound things out, and that was able to that I was able to say those quite easily.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that would be very hard. I feel like, or I would be just very intimidated by just the language I would have to be using and remembering. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But
just say it effortlessly and with ease. I can see why it's daunting.
When you got to work with Sarah Drew as well on those ones. So
though Sarah Drew was cool.
The best.
Yeah, she her and I, we did this the shower scene together. I remember, I forget what episode it was, but as soon as I read it, I was just so excited. I was like, oh my God, I get to do something where I can take my shirt off and it's on national TV. And I'm like, yeah. That was really fun. And then she also directed me in the web series that we did. She was the director for all of those. So that was really cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm a really big fan of Never Have I Ever. So I wanted to ask you, how did you get the role of Prashant?
So this happened, I think in 2019 when we shot our first season. I came in episode 9, and it was a traditional audition. I went into Brett Greenstein and Colin Daniel's office, who were casting Never Have I Ever, and it just felt like just something just clicked with that role. I knew, they were looking. It was Mindy Kaling, and they were looking for a slight Indian accent, and that wasn't the only thing that was part of the role. But I think the way I just created that role, created that audition, it was just a very subtle Indian accent, and it was I use a lot of imagery work for it, and it just felt very easy. Not
Mhm.
like, oh my, I can do this. I can't do it. It was challenging. Don't get me wrong, but it was also um, just felt very much in my body. So
Mhm.
I went in there, and on the way out, I remember one of the casting directors just saying, "Okay, that's exactly what we're looking for," and he
Oh,
just whispered it as he went out, and I was like, "Okay."
Oh.
It's in this industry, people say a lot of things, and I was like, all right, cool, I feel good. And then I just went off about my day, and then later, I think a couple of days later, they're like, we want him, and then it kind of just went from there.
yeah. You must have been
That is
stoked.
Yeah, that must
Yeah,
have been so exciting. It's such a big show, for Netflix.
yeah. I mean, when I got it, I was just happy I got the job. And then when I got the job, and I felt very proud that there was so many South Asians on screen all at the same time. But
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to be as big as it is now. I was like, oh, this is a great show. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
It could.
amazing how it has comedy, but also she's dealing with grief, and that's kind of very deep, but then the comedy is, like, so vibrant, and it's really special. It's unique, I think.
Yeah, and it's very relatable to everyone. And I think the
Yeah.
what they do on the show that's really well is how inclusive of they are of every single person in the world. And I think that's just
Mhm.
that is, and they're able to and put everyone together, and then make it funny and make it also really heartfelt. And
Mhm.
that's what I really love about the show.
Yeah, what was it like to work with Mindy Kaling and this great cast?
Yeah, she was cool. She was Mindy and Lang, who are the co-creators of Never Have I Ever. And honestly, everyone on set was even from season one, they were just very grateful. Working with Mindy and Lang, who are the co-creators of Never Have I Ever, they are just they're just really cool people. They're just happy to be creating this content, and everyone, the entire cast on set are also even in season one, everyone was just like, hey, we have jobs, this is amazing, we get to tell and do all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think once the show came out, it was then nobody could believe what the reception to this show is.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I think there's just they're all happy to be there creating all this wonderful material, and are able to have an audience to tell it to.
Do you get to improv
Mm.
at all, or is it pretty strict to the script?
In Never Have I Ever,
Yeah.
not so much. I think it's already written really well, that I don't think any improv would fit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like all the
Mm.
comedic beats are already in there. So I think it's just to lean into that versus, here, let me add my own flair,
Right.
which
Right.
I'm notorious for doing. But, and I'm like, I go in there, I'm like, oh, here's a monologue I just made up, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have people like Mindy Kaling, who's just so funny. That
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast. My name is BJ.
And my name is Me Too, and we promise this promo is worth it, so please don't skip ahead.
We're two judgy friends who put our judgmental skills to work for you. We review the pilot episodes of new and popular shows, and shows that our listeners request to answer your question, should I watch this?
Look, a lot of us are spending a lot more time at home, and yes, we should be reading and trying new projects and enriching ourselves, but does anything beat binging a great show?
Let us take the guesswork out of deciding what your next show will be. Tune in to The Pilot Podcast at thepilotpodcast.com.
Well, let's talk about the new Hallmark movie, Make Me a Match. Very exciting. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the movie?
This movie is it's the first for Hallmark. It's a South Asian rom-com, but it's not just about the South Asian part of it. It's about these two people who have very different views on how to get love, how to approach love. and one of them, who's Vivi, played by Eva Bourne, she's her character. She works at a dating app company, and she has a lot of uh, unluck. No, a lot
Bad
of
luck. Yeah.
bad luck. Thank you.
Yeah.
She has a lot of bad luck with that. No, it's fine. No, she has a lot of bad luck with finding love, and she realized that in her company, uh, the all the analytics and algorithms of that are used in the matchmaking process have a very minimal success rate, and so she seeks out external forces, and she finds an Indian matchmaker who suggests that she go through the matchmaking process to really understand the traditions and learn, instead of just it being a superficial thing. And so and then come in me, Boom, who runs the matchmaking business and who helps her start finding her matches, and to kind of break down of who she is and what's going on with her, so that she can really find true love.
So how did you end up getting this role? Were you like aware of the Hallmark movie and the whole system of Hallmark movies?
Yeah, I honestly had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea. So it just kind of landed in my lap, honestly. I think 3
So
weeks
they came
before
to
shooting.
you and your agent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sent me an offer, and I asked my my manager. I was like, "What? How did this happen?" She's like, I think you sent in enough auditions that they like you." And, and I'm like, "Okay." Yeah, it was. So we had 3 weeks before I was supposed to be on set, and yeah, it was. I don't honestly, don't hate me, but I don't really watch Hallmark movies. So it was a brand new thing for me. I knew that I always wanted to do a rom-com, but this was a really fun rom-com to do.
Yeah. After you've done one an hour, you're thinking these are pretty fun.
Yeah.
Very good. So how do you work with Eva to have that chemistry? What did you do?
First of all, I'm really funny on set. So it just felt super natural. I think as soon as we met, I think we met on the Sunday right before we had to shoot, and we were just vibing from the get-go really well. And yeah, there was nothing much to do. I think we were just I think once we got the first day jitters out of the way, anytime you're on set for and it's your first day, it's just always just weird and awkward as you're trying to get to know these people, and finally bringing this character to life. And but once we got that out of the way, everything else, I think we were just making each other laugh and really there to support each other. And I told her that when we first met too. I was like, listen, anything, you have any issues or any sort of problems, challenges, whatever, just come to me, and then we'll both handle it. And so I think she was very receptive to that. And we jumped into the friend zone really quick, and we're like inseparable for 3 weeks.
That's cool. That's good.
That's so fun. I heard you guys had a cultural consultant, or I'm not sure of the right term, on set.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So what is that? What is that like? Or what is? I guess I just never heard of that, so I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, me either, honestly. But it's how now we have we now have it's the same thing as how we have intimacy coordinators or stunt coordinators, that having a cultural consultant who is well versed in the South Asian culture to guide the director, the production, into what's being done the correct way and what's not, what's not appropriate, just to kind of steer the ship in that aspect of things. And Lena, she our cultural coordinator, she was amazing. She's just she was there for us to help us pronounce our Hindi thing in words that we had to say as well. And she just knew how to set up the wedding, how to set up the engagement, how to set up all of these specific things that needed to be addressed properly.
So did you say you had to have an accent for
this movie?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
This one is just me. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I came in there with all my sass.
Now you had Heather Hawthorne Doyle as director, and that must have been awesome. She's done tons of these.
Yeah, she's cool. She's really cool. I think I had a very unique experience of working with Heather because of how inclusive she was with all of the cast. And I've never had that working with any director before. Right before we had to start shooting, she put everyone in an email chain and kind of laid down exactly what her ideas and thoughts were and how excited she was about the whole process. And then once we got on set, she expertly maneuvered how to speaking to actors as well as speaking to the camera operators and the DP, and setting up exactly what kind of shot that she wanted and what her idea was. And she was also very receptive to all the improvs that I was throwing out there. And she, so I think I threw out too much because the whole screenplay was already running really long. And at the end of every scene, I had to put my little thing in there. Yeah, she was really fun working with Heather.
That's cool. Was this shot in Vancouver?
It was shot in Vancouver. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know where in Vancouver, but it was all over Vancouver. So I was like, drive me here, drive me there. It's like, so.
I know one of these days I'm going to go visit and I'll be like, I'll just be spending, I'll probably drive the people I'm going with crazy because I'll recognize everything from a movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's the water fountain I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
The gazebo I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So what was it like recreating these like lavish Indian weddings in the movie? That must have been fun.
It was it kind of brought me some PTSD because from my wedding that we had, my wife and I had, I don't know who else would have it, but that we had it in March 2020.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it was right before the day before everything ended.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're lucky, I guess, that you got it in.
Yeah, and no, it was we're going in. But I think that was the most stressful week of my life. And so it was a lot of stress and tension going into it. But once everything once everything was going, I was like, all right, cool, this is good. But yeah, it did bring a little PTSD. I was like, oh God, I thought I would never go through this again. So
That's funny.
You're like, we're good, right?
Yeah, like we're good, right? Everything's fine, right?
That's funny.
But this was no, it was definitely a movie wedding for sure. I think everyone was having a lot of fun on set, and it was a very pleasurable experience. A lot of color, and yeah, it was. And my God, Eva just looked so amazing in her lehenga and her wedding gown.
The promo looks great.
Yeah. I have this amazing photo of her that I took. I was like, just look how beautiful you are. So she looked great.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hearty, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
Yeah, it must be incredible just to see. I mean, I always think about with these Hallmark movies, like these festivals just appear out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
the same thing with this, with the weddings.
Yeah. It was we had a lot of background actors that day. And everyone just brought in a lot of energy. And it was it felt very ceremonial.
Yeah. Well, what would be your pitch? As people say, tune in, this is a good one.
To this movie, this is
Yes.
going to be Make Me a Match. It's happening June 24th at 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel, and it's a really fun it's a really fun movie that's got a little South Asian twist to it, and yeah, I think that's good. That's what I got.
Very good. All right, we'll tune in. Don't worry, our listeners will too.
Definitely. I have to ask one question, and you can decide if you don't want to answer. But will Boom be like seeing Eva's character when she's matching with these different people? Will he be like witnessing this? I'm just curious.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He'll be there.
Well, he runs the company, right?
I run the company, so
okay. It's always fun to see some little, jealous man. It's kind of a nice thing to see. So it'll be nice to see that.
There's definitely a little shading of that in Boom's character, and that's part of the fun of this movie.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All
great.
right. Well, we have some get to know you fun questions that we like to ask our guests. First question: what is the best ice cream flavor?
The best ice cream flavor right now for me, or just in general, I would say mint chocolate chip. There's a place in LA called Salt and Straw, and they have this vegan ice cream. Dairy messes me up, so I love this one particular flavor they have. They also had this other flavor.
They have some wacky flavors there, like grasshopper.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff.
do.
Yeah, it's weird. But so they had this other vegan flavor. I think it was a sorbet. It was mango, habanero, and IPA.
Oh wow!
And I thought that was really interesting as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue. Like royal blue. Yeah.
Royal blue.
Very good. All right. What music are you into right now?
I'm into EDM. I need my BPMs.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I do.
Oh, let's go. I'm getting too excited. Yeah.
Cool.
What is your go-to date night food?
Go-to date night food. Go-to date night food. Like if I'm at home or if I'm in a restaurant.
Yeah, you're like
either way. If you order in or you guys places like to go out, what kind of food do you guys like to eat?
Yeah, I love a good duck pate.
Oh.
Yeah, there's
fancy.
yeah, we went to my wife and I went to Paris, I think last year, and we had some of the best pate with champagne over there, and now we're just hooked. If we have to indulge, I'd be like, let's go get some pate.
You need to make a Hallmark movie in Paris.
Yeah, let's go.
They already
Make
have
me a
one
match in
sure.
Paris.
So yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
All right. What is your go-to date night activity if you're going out and doing something aside from going to Paris?
Let's see. feel like I haven't gone on a date in a while.
Oh, that's right. You have a new baby, right?
I have a new baby. I have a new
Aw.
baby. We don't ever sleep.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
yeah. Side story. I think that was part of what I was so stressed out about, because the same day my son was supposed to be born was the first day of shooting
No
on
way.
this movie. Yeah, it
Oh,
was just,
wow.
and
Oh my
so
goodness.
I know, I was like super stressed out. I was like, oh, I got to work on this, follow my dream, and then I had to be there for the birth of my son.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, I think just going out to a really nice restaurant with a good experience for food. I think that's what would be the most satisfying.
Well, the truth is, when you have a baby, just leaving the house.
Let's leave in the
Yeah.
house.
That's a victory.
When you have a baby, just
That's
sleeping.
right.
Yeah, just sleeping.
Sleeping. If I can get a good
Don't
night
even
of
have to
sleep,
leave.
I'll be okay.
All right, which do you like better, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Okay, yeah, dogs are just better, in my opinion, too.
Well, we
Yeah,
say cats, you have to earn their love. Dogs just give it.
Dogs just give it.
That's right.
All right. Which do you like better, beaches or mountains?
Mountains. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your favorite holiday to celebrate?
It would definitely be Christmas for sure. I think it's just the whole familial bonding and gathering, and just the downtime of that everyone is experiencing it's collectively, it's very relaxing.
Yeah.
Well, now we
And
got to
it's
get
just
you in a
longer.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Hallmark
Christmas movie in space, where
Yeah?
I'm an astronaut.
Okay.
I'm an astronaut that I've been on this ship for too long, and I have to find love, and it's Christmas, and who's going to be there but maybe my robot AI.
No, we got to get Heather. We'll call her and get her directed. That's good. And well, it's hard to beat Christmas because it's like a whole season, whereas everything else is just like a day or maybe a week.
Yeah, everything is just bulldozed until like Christmas happens.
Yeah. Very good. All right. What is your favorite romantic movie?
My favorite romantic movie. I guess what's the one? I just can't remember the name of it. What's the one with Hugh Grant, the famous one?
Notting Hill.
Notting Hill.
Yeah.
That's how my wife puts it on, and it's I'm always like, oh wow, that's really nice. It's just I sit down and I find myself just being lost in it.
It's a good choice. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, you did it. You answered all the questions.
I did it. I'm in now.
There you go.
That's it. What do we do now?
Yes. You can keep making great Hallmark movies. But thank you so much for taking time to talk with us. We really appreciate it. And
yes, thank you very much.
If people want to follow you on social media, stuff like that, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can go on social media and type my name in, and my handle is Rushi Kota, and just that's me on everywhere.
Great. We'll have all that also in the description. People can check it out. And thanks again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Anne.
We look forward to the movie. Okay.
We'd like to thank Rushi for coming on the podcast. This was a lot of fun. And Anne, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at awscott21.
And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really, really helps us a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have the Patreon group, which is so much fun, and the merch store. Please take a look at that. And thanks again to Rushi, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.